one of these times, it's going to happen. I don't know if it's today. I don't know if it's next month or next year or 10 years from now, but one of these times, I am going to do an unboxing video and I am going to hit my first PSA 10. And when that happens, I have got a special celebration planned. Of course, we know, get it ready. Get it ready and get it warmed up. We know about the 9.8 button. That's still in effect, but I got a special celebration planned for my first PSA 10. They might have to call the fire department on this celebration. I may burn my house down. I'm going to need guys in hazmat suits to come up here and clean up everything after my first PSA 10. Actually, it's not that big of a deal. I'm probably making it a bigger deal than what it sounds like, but it is going to be a lot of fun, and I may actually hurt myself when it happens, or somebody else in the area here. Hey, I'm Jim. This is an unboxing video. These are 5 PSA slabs, and everything about these PSA slabs and boxes are just a little bit more difficult to get into, and that's a good thing. Gee, I remember the days, going back only a couple of years ago, when it seemed like every 2 or 3 boxes I got from CGC, I was looking at cracked slabs. And it was very frustrating, and it was a big pain in the butt, and hated everything about it. So I'm all for difficult to open boxes, because that means that these have been packed very nicely, and PSA just does an amazing job. I got to make sure these are going the right way, and they are. PSA does a great job on boxing these up. Okay. Here's what I got today. I've got... we're in the middle of March Madness, so I got some college basketball. I got a college basketball, just a guy that people are keeping an eye on. Let's put it that way. Got his first cover, even though his team is not in this year's NCAA tournament. Very interesting. LeBron James. Yeah, that's right. My first LeBron James Sports Illustrated first cover in a PSA slab. That is happening in this box that's coming up. I have a pop culture piece from the 70s that I have been looking for forever. Finally landed my first newsstand copy of this. That we'll have today as well. I'm going to call this other issue that's in this box the single most underrated modern issue in the hobby. Bold statement. It's going to deliver. And then we're going to wrap it up with one of my absolute favorite basketball players in the world and a cover of a magazine of this person that I hate. I hate it. Hate it so much, and I'm going to go through all the details as to why I hate it on that. Big box today. Huge king-size box. Okay, now, talked about this. This is, PSA does a great job in packing all this stuff up, but it makes it difficult for me to get this open in an easy fashion without looking at stuff. And so here we go. All right. Let's get situated. 5 slabs, all modern, in this box. We're looking for a 9.8 with love. Man, there's a chance. I think we got a shot at popping the first PSA 10. There's a chance. Let's dig in and start with our first one. Oh, that is not good. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm still in my early PSA boxes. These are this is my second PSA box. And keep in mind, these are issues that I sent in specifically to see where I can gauge where PSA's grading standards are as they relate to CGCs. Look, I've sent in thousands of slabs, items to get slabbed by CGC. I know where their grading standards are. I needed to learn where PSA's grading standards were. And so some of these aren't going to be great grades in these boxes, my first few boxes, because I'm sending in issues of various conditions because I need to see where things pop. And you can see that right there. 7.5, great issue. 7.5 seems like a, okay. Man, that seems like a harsh grade. That seems like a harsh grade. It seems to be in better shape than this. I'd say this is more like an 8.5 or maybe even a 9. Okay, but we'll do this. Mickey Mantle tribute issue. This came out on August 21st, 1995. In the PSA pop reports, there are 2 at 9.4. There's a 9.2 and a 9.0. I projected this at 8.5. I really am not seeing 7.5 on this. So I'll dig into the graders notes a little bit more on this. I don't even know if I've seen graders notes. I don't even know, is PSA doing graders notes? I haven't even had a chance. That's how new all this is to me. I'll find out because it seems like it's in better shape than that. I think this is the most underrated modern issue. Very few people ever talk about this issue. Let's get into it. Why is it underrated? Well, I just don't see people talk about it very much. And it's got everything you could want. It's got Mickey Mantle, check. It is a tribute issue, check. Those are the issues that for years, decades, Sports Illustrated produced tribute issues whenever major superstars passed away. Unfortunately, they don't do that anymore, but this is his tribute issue. Visually stunning. Absolutely stunning. This is one of the rare Sports Illustrated covers that has no headline. Just says Sports Illustrated back there, and a little bit at the top it says August 21st, 1995, and it's got the price. So no headline. It's super clean. This photo was taken during Mickey Mantle's rookie season in 1951. It was actually taken during spring training of that year. I've owned a ton of these issues. There are 15 copies of this at 9.8 in the CGC census. I've probably graded, probably half of those 9.8s are mine. Maybe not quite half, but at least 5 of those 9.8s are mine. I've gotten a ton of these issues. I'm a huge fan of it. I am not a big fan of that 7.5. In fact, very disappointing. I'm not going to spend time lamenting it now, but that one I'm going to have to take a closer look at some point in time and see if PSA does grader notes. Whew. It really helps me out a lot when you subscribe to this channel, so please go ahead and do that. If you want to be a rock star, like this video and drop a comment. Thank you. Yeah, it kind of looks like an 8.5 to me. All right, next one up. And again, these all come with this Ziplocked outer bag here. And then they're all wrapped in like this cellophane to protect the slab. Okay. Whew. Next one up. Now, it's interesting, the way I arrange these, I kind of learned something on my first PSA box because I don't want any peaks. I don't want any illusion as to what this grade might be. And because if you get a PSA 10, you get a gold logo, I had to figure out, I need to open the box upside down so I'm seeing the bottoms of them. And I'm assuming, I don't know if 10s, that's a little light blue. I don't know if that turns gold. I think that the 10 low, if this is a 10, for example, I don't think I can just tell from the back there. Gonna have to wait to get my first 10 to find out. Okay, let's see what we got. Whew. Man, oh, that is a bummer. Look at that, 9.2. Oh, you know what? That's fair. Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Oh, 9.2 is totally fair on this. Again, I was sending issues in so that I could judge CGC's grading standards. Slam 258, October 2025. There are 14 at 9.8, 10 at 9.6, 8 at 9.4. I project this at 9.4, so pretty close on that one. This is a 1 of 4 variant from Slam Magazine. That is Carmelo Anthony. And that is Carmelo Anthony's 19-year-old son, Caitlyn Anthony, who plays for Syracuse just like his dad did. I thought this was kind of cool. I thought it was cool that that his son is going to Syracuse just like Melo went to Syracuse. They got both of them on the cover. Seemed to be pretty interesting. Caitlyn just turned 19. He's a freshman at Syracuse. His mom is Lala Anthony. I'm supposed to know who that is. I'm sorry, I don't. I looked into it. It turns out she was on MTV and VH1, and she'd been in some movies, and she'd done a bunch of reality TV shows like Flavor of Love. Not my game. Nothing wrong with it if it is your bag, but it's just not my jam. So Lala Anthony is Caitlyn Anthony's mom. Syracuse is a total disaster. They missed the NCAA tournament this year. Just fired their head coach and just announced the head coach of Siena will be taking the job at Syracuse. And from the reaction I've seen on social media, it seems like a lot of Syracuse fans are pretty happy with that hire. Very cool cover, very early prospect. And this is kind of what I like this about Slam Magazine a lot. You get a lot of really young kids on there who it's their first major cover of any publication, but it's going to be 3, 4, 5 years before we know if whether or not they're a big time player in the NBA or not. So it's kind of interesting, and I kind of like that because we get to sit here and go, oh, I'm going to pick this up, and maybe Kean Anthony's going to be a badass in the NBA. We'll have to see. Don't care for that 9.2. It is fair, unlike that 7.5 Mantle that we saw before. Okay, moving right along. It's going okay. Going okay. I got one that I got a shot at 9.8 on. I haven't even had my first PSA 9.8 yet. A lot of people are asking me, oh, Jim, who's grading harder? Is it CGC? Is it PSA? Way too early to tell. I'm getting reports from people on both sides of the spectrum where CGC is harder on grading, PSA is harder on grading. It's just going to take a lot of data for us to really come to any firm conclusions. And even then, I don't know even if we get tons of data, I don't know what sort of conclusions we'll come to. I do know what this issue is. If you are expert level magazine collector, you'll also know what this issue is, strictly from the back here. This one's going to be fun. Whew. Yeah, okay. And that is going to be fair again for what we talked about. Yeah, this issue's got a lot of problems with it. Lot of scuffing, lot of spine ticks that break color, some staining on the white in the back. 7 is probably a fair grade. Says first LeBron James, St. Vincent St. Mary's High School Sports Illustrated cover. Love that slab label right there. LeBron James first cover. This came out on February 18th, 2002. Here are the PSA pops on this. There's 6 at 9.8. There are 5 at 9.6. There's 7 at 9.4. I had projected this at 8.0, so missed my projection on that one. There are about 40 of these graded at 9.8 in the CGC population report. 6 of them or so at PSA. Out of all of those, I've done the math for you before and posted on social media. I've pressed and cleaned about 1/3 of every LeBron James first cover that exists in 9.8. Something I'm pretty proud about. The great thing about this, and this was in the news just a few months ago, the jersey that he's wearing in this image here was sold at auction for, are you ready for it? $1.3 million. In fact, let's take a look. Here it is. There's the a quick graphic of the jersey that LeBron James, this was the exact jersey that he wore in high school and on the cover of this Sports Illustrated issue. Sold for $1.3 million. And when you have that combination of game-worn, massive superstar like LeBron, and then the fact that the item was featured on a cover of Sports Illustrated, prices just go insane for stuff like that. Here's an interesting clip that I saw about that big auction and this specific jersey that was on this cover right here. Let's take a look at that right now.
He was just coming into the world, and this kind of introduced him to the world as the chosen one. So from here, he'd go on to win all of those awards and all of those accolades.
That guy right there. Sold for $1.3 million. LeBron James, first cover at 7.0. Moving along. All right. 2 left here. Oh, I already know what this one is from the back. Kind of easy when there's only a couple left for me to be able to figure out which one we're going to be looking at here. This one's going to be fun. Okay. Old cigarette ads. My favorite. Virginia Slims. Slimmer than the fat cigarettes men smoke. Don't tell me that wasn't some marketing about how you can lose weight smoking cigarettes. Pretty on the nose, too. Not even being too subtle about it, Virginia Slims. Okay. Oh, there it is. This is Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, 6.0. I'm going to take that all day long. I told you when the show started that I had a pop culture piece that I've been looking for years and finally found a copy in newsstand. 6.0 is absolutely fair on this. Got lots of problems on it, but beautiful in every grade. Elton John, his first Time magazine cover. This came out on July 7th, 1975, so it barely qualifies as a modern issue. Just so that you know, both CGC and PSA have the exact same era groupings as to what is modern and what is vintage. Vintage is up until 1974, and modern is 1975 to present. So this coming out on July 7th, 1975. Doesn't look like a modern, looks more like a vintage, but it is technically a modern. This is the only copy graded, so your boy got the top pop at that 6.0. I'll take that. Hey, I don't care if it's a 6.0, it's a top pop. Just right there. Boom. Projected this at 6.0, so nailed it. The Rocket Man, I love this. Visually, a absolute gorgeous piece. By the way, I also own David Bowie's first Time magazine cover. Has a very similar sort of feel in its sketching. Who's that modern artist? Lichtenstein. The modern... I don't know much about art, so I apologize. At least I think that that's his name. He has a certain look and feel to his art, and this has a similar, not quite exact, but similar look and feel to it in the David Bowie Time magazine cover that I have. In fact, let's throw up. There's the David Bowie Time magazine cover, and I do own that one. I also own that in the top pop. That top pop is 9.4. So beautiful there. It kind of has, I like this, it has kind of that Yellow Submarine from the Beatles sort of vibe to it. And of course the glasses and the costume, this is a visually beautiful piece of work here, and I love everything about it. Elton John, the 19th performer to win the EGOT. And if you don't know what that is, EGOT, it stands for Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. It's when you win one of each in each category. He is the 19th artist to ever get one of each. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. The 19th EGOT winner. And here's a pretty cool clip I found from Elton John. This is Elton John talking about his writing process that he went through and actually is going through as he's writing the song Tiny Dancer. Check this out.
There's all lyrics here, and I just sift through them. There's one here that I've sort of done the other day called Tiny Dancer, which is about Bernie's girlfriend. And you just sort of felt like I looked through all the lyrics, and that was the one I fancied writing, mainly because I knew Bernie would like me to do this one because it's about his girlfriend.
Reg has to write very fast because he hasn't got the patience to sort of spend hours or days on something, I mean, that's Reg.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, the words, blue jean baby, LA lady, seamstress of the band, pretty-eyed pirate smile, you marry a music man, ballerina. As soon as you get to the word ballerina, you know it's not going to be fast. It's got to be sort of gentle and slow, and sort of quite slow. So, I mean, like, the way it's written here is a verse, it's a chorus, or a middle eight and a chorus, then another verse. I just sort of ran it through and put two verses together, then a middle eight, then a chorus, and then back to the verse sort of thing. It happens very quickly. It sounds long, but it sort of starts off, blue jean baby, LA lady, seamstress for the band. Dancing in the sand, and now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my hand. Then it sort of changes, you see, to this verse. Oh, I feel so real, different tempo, lying here with no one near, only you, and you can
cool clip. What a cool clip to see a legendary music artist as they're writing a legendary song like Tiny Dancer and talking about things and their thought process and learning that Tiny Dancer was written for Bernie Taupin's girlfriend at the time. If you don't know, Bernie Taupin was Elton John's longtime writing partner. They co-wrote pretty much everything together, all of Elton John's big songs and even songs that weren't so big. And then he just pulls out just a bunch of crumpled papers. He's like, here it is. I'm just going to pull out these crumpled papers and, by the way, deliver a legendary banger like Tiny Dancer out of these crumpled up pieces of paper. I love it. He hits the piano. He delivers the vocals, and it's just... it's all classic. I have seen Elton John live once. I did not see him in his prime. Seeing Elton John in the 70s or 80s, that would have been epic. It was in the 2000s. I don't know, it was probably 2005 or something like that when I saw him. And back then, he was definitely on the downside of his career of live performances. It was just him and a piano. It's pretty good, but certainly a long way off from, his epic performances that he had in the 70s and 80s. Elton John, first Time magazine cover appearance in that beautiful 6.0 PSA. Okay, last one. Last one here. Because it's the last one, I know exactly which one this is. This is actually the only one that has an even remote shot of being able to get a 9.8. I still don't think it's going to get a 9.8, but we'll see. I've been surprised before with 9.8s. We'll warm up the 9.8 button just in case. We'll warm it up. Okay. Piece of saran wrap stuck there. Okay, last one. Looking for a big grade. It'd be fun to pop the first 9.8. Come on. Oh, I didn't think it is. And there it is. And let's do it. There it is. Caitlyn Clark, first Sports Illustrated cover in that beautiful, gorgeous, the very first PSA 9.8 from one of my unboxing videos. Oh, this is awesome. I love it, love it, I love it. I love everything about this, except I hate this issue. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Everything about it. But the 9.8 makes my distaste for everything about this cover go down a little bit easier. Okay, Caitlyn Clark, first Sports Illustrated cover. This came out in June of 2025. There are now 5 9.8s. There are 6 at 9.6, 3 at 9.4. This issue sums up everything that is wrong with Sports Illustrated right now. I have hammered Sports Illustrated for years. Now I get it. Look, Sports Illustrated, if the people that make Sports Illustrated even know that their issues are collectible, and I don't know that they do, they certainly don't care, clearly by the crap they've been putting out on it. Everything was wrong with Sports Illustrated. Keep in mind, her first Slam magazine cover came out more than a full year before her first Sports Illustrated. She had 3 Slam magazine covers before she got her first Sports Illustrated cover. Angel Reese had 2 Sports Illustrated covers before Caitlyn Clark had her first Sports Illustrated cover. It's a crime. And then when we finally get a Caitlyn Clark Sports Illustrated cover, we get a crappy studio shot and she's sharing it with a bunch of her teammates. I don't want to see that. I want to see in-game shots. I want to see solo covers. I want to see something that just highlights that athlete that we're all focusing on. And in this example, it's Caitlyn Clark. I still can't believe that Slam Magazine had 3 Caitlyn Clark covers before Sports Illustrated put out their first one. And a lame studio shot on top of it altogether. But you know me, I love me some Caitlyn Clark. Every time I get a new Caitlyn Clark coming in, we're going to put some new Caitlyn Clark highlights. So let's go to the tape and check out those Caitlyn Clark highlights.
Wants to see star players. She's a connector. She brings people together.
Clark firing and hitting. Clark behind the back. It goes right to the window. Wow.
She's hard to defend all the time, like not at times.
Clark launching and hitting. Clark splashing home a 3. Clark, the strike ahead. Oh, beautifully done. Touchdown fever. Clark fires. You bet. And then steps back with the three.
Love that. Can watch Caitlyn Clark YouTube videos all day long. But everything that's been going on in sports, and we just don't get good coverage. Look, we had an incredible Olympics. Women's hockey gold, men's hockey gold. Do you think we're getting a cover on those? No, we're not. We've still never had a Josh Allen cover appearance on Sports Illustrated. Josh Allen's, he's coming up on tour. He's past the midpoint of his NFL career probably right now. And we still have not had a Josh Allen Sports Illustrated cover. It's just everything about Sports Illustrated so frustrating right now. I've said this many times. Sports Illustrated puts out about 15 to 20 different issues a year because they put out some special ones and then the regular monthlies. I bet maybe 2 or 3 of them. That's it. The Cooper Flag first cover, lame, boring. They had Kevin Durant on the cover recently. Even that Joe Burrow cover, it was a creepy shot of him. I think he was in like a hot tub or something. I don't know. That Joe Burrow cover from a few months ago was terrible. 2 or 3 a year at most. Sports Illustrated covers are collectible, and it's a shame because I get easily, now this isn't quite a fair comparison, but Time Magazine, I get at least 10 or 12 every year. Now they put out weekly still, but even Slam Magazine and all the variants they put out, I'm buying 10 or 12 Slams a year. Easy. Different ones. Because they're so cool and collectible, and plenty of other publications. And Sports Illustrated, 2 or 3 a year tops. I don't know how we fix it. It is what it is. You just got to be aware of that so that you can adjust your collecting as it goes. It's a bummer. 9.8. I'm thrilled about that. She's a beauty. What's the label say? Indiana Fever cover, newsstand, first Caitlyn Clark Sports Illustrated cover. PSA, thank you, PSA, for 2 big things. Putting newsstand on the slab label and then being so willing to do the correct thing and put out slab label notes when they're requested. Massive shout out to PSA. You guys are off to a good start here and doing things that we've been really frustrated with CGC with for a long time. If you're interested in my comic and magazine cleaning and pressing service, drop a comment. Find me on social media. Shoot me a DM. I'll give you all the details. You are awesome for watching these. Appreciate it. Thank you.